Hey everyone, Danny Jose here, DIY guy with an do-it-yourself video, and this time it's to review a new SmarterSpa. It's a saltwater chlorine generator for the hot tub. I have already a saltwater chlorinator for my hot tub, but this time it's a smarter salt generator, and it actually measures the chlorine levels at my hot tub, and it adjusts accordingly, so I don't have to set it to do a constant chlorination at a cycle. It just automatically generates more chlorine when needed and only when it's needed. It's called the SmarterSpa, and I'm going to review that today and show you how to install it. Here we go. So like I said, I have already a salt generator. It's the older version. It goes in cycles. I basically put it underneath my deck here to just protect it from rain and weather. So it's right underneath my deck, and then that line goes to my GFI outlet over there. That is necessary for this install. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the Chlor Maker with my SmarterSpa and just put it in the same spot. So here is the SmarterSpa saltwater chlorine generator. They changed the name to from Chlor Maker to SmarterSpa. So like I said, I mentioned I had the original Chlor Maker. That it basically was a timer that sets the chlorination in cycles, whereas this one is automatic. It measures the chlorine levels, and then it adjusts when chlorine is needed, so that's quite handy. It comes with the control panel just like the Chlor Maker, so it's the same size, so I'll just put it where it was, my old one was before. It comes with the power. It plugs into your GFI outlet, and then it comes with the rod that drops into the titanium plates that drop into the water. It just drapes over to the hot tub. Very low voltage, so you don't have to worry about getting electrocuted or things like that, because it's very low voltage. I think it's like 5 volts. It comes with the salt level tester. It's handy. And then it comes with the chemical tester just to make sure your water is balanced. Like I said, this is the new version. They come in different colors, 3 different colors. You have the Chlor Maker drop over the DO, and that's the brown, and that's the one I originally had. They changed the colors to brown, and then we have the Mega Chlor Maker, which is also drop over, and that's for swim spa and small pools. And then the one I have is for it's called SmarterSpa, and it's the hot tub salt system, and that's the purple. So I originally bought the Chlor Maker from Hot Tub Covers Canada. You can visit them at hottubcoverscanada.ca. So like I mentioned, these chlorinators just drop into the water in the hot tub. As you can see, it's generating, I don't know if you can see that, but it's generating the chlorine there from the titanium plates. Turns the salt into natural chlorine, and it just automatically turns on when it's needed. This version is a little thicker, which looks like it's better built this time around. I've had mine for several years now, so I'm looking forward to using this. And so like I said, it drops over when you're bathing. You can, I generally take mine out when I'm bathing just in case, but you shouldn't have to worry. It's very low voltage in there. And I put the control board underneath my deck here to protect it from just weathering. As you can see, the blue light says salt okay. You can put the levels up if you want a little bit more chlorine. You just press both these buttons, and then you press the arrow up and down, and it'll flash how many times. It goes from 1 to 10. And then after every bathe in the hot tub, I generally like to press the boost button, just give it a good boost of chlorine making, just to sanitize. And that's basically it. So that was really easy. I installed it in like less than 10 minutes. Again, you'll need a GFI outlet, so just to power this thing up, but it just plugs into your outlet. And then you just simply drop in the Chlorinator in the hot tub and power it up, and it just starts it up. Mine defaulted to level 4. I put it to level 5 just to test it out, and then I'll measure the chlorine levels to make sure it's the right levels that I need it in. So I wanted to cover a couple of things that I've had comments and questions on regarding my previous video, and it's probably the same questions that I'm going to get for this video. But one of the main common questions is, does the salt water affect the equipment in the hot tub? Well, it's if you think about it, this is chlorine, right? Whether it's salt or chlorine or bromine, you're going to still have the same type of corrosion that you would get normally in these hot tubs. Now, these hot tubs are acrylic or like plastic, so a lot of the piping is PVC piping or like plastic material, so it's not really going to corrode. The heater elements for the hot tub they last about 4 to 5 years. Mine, I need to replace it soon, and when you do replace it, it's good to get the titanium heaters, the heater elements, and so they last better with the salt water, or it's going to last better in general. So get that. With the salt, I put in about 7 cups. You're supposed to put in 2.5 cups of salt per 100 gallons, and I have 400-gallon hot tub, so I was recommended to put about 10 cups. I started off with 7. Always start off lower, 6 to 7 cups. Measure, because it's harder to take out the salt from the water. The only way you can take the salt levels down is if you actually take out the water from the hot tub and then refill it. So start off with less than the recommended cups and test it, and if it says it's low salt, then add some more salt. I used pool salt, which I use for my swimming pool as well. Some people prefer to use Himalayan salt. It's quite expensive, but I guess if you want Himalayan salt, you can get that. That works well as well too, but I use regular pool salt for mine. The other question I have is, should you leave the titanium rod inside the hot tub while you're bathing in it? I generally take mine out just because, it's not even a safety reason. I just rather take it out so it doesn't dangle in the way or get in the way of the legs or stuff. So I just take it out and then I drop it back in when I'm done bathing. But if you do decide to keep it in the hot tub, it is low voltage, so you're not going to get electrocuted. It's hooked up to GFI outlet anyway, so any electrical damage would just shut off the breaker. So you're pretty safe with the low voltage. It's about, I think, a couple of batteries. That's equal to a couple of batteries of voltage that goes through those chlorinators, so you're pretty safe. Other questions. Do you have to use the same amount of chemicals, or do you have to balance your hot tub the same way? You generally have to keep an eye on your water balance. I find that you hardly put a lot of chemicals in it because it maintains the balance, especially with the SmarterSpa chlorinator. It'll just maintain the chlorine levels for you, but you should test your water regularly and make sure that it's balanced, especially after a lot of people bathing in it, there is that boost function. There's a lot of bathers, like I sometimes have 8 people bathing in it, and it's just kind of nasty. So I'll shock the pool just to give it that really sanitizing it, and shock it, and then even put the boost on there just to give it a good clean. Otherwise, change the water. It's pretty easy to change the water every, let's say, 2 to 3 months. It's the easiest way to get nice, clear water instead of using a lot of chemicals. So just change the water up, add some more salt in there, and then you got a fresh tub. Other questions, how long do these chlorinators last? My previous one lasted for a few seasons, and then the rod kind of gets like this salt residue or calcification and all these things. You have to clean it out or change the titanium plates. This should last about 2 to 3 seasons, maybe more, depending on how often, if you use it all season long, or if you close your tub, then it lasts longer. But I generally will expect about 3 to 4 seasons out of it. It's a pretty good investment, less chemicals that you use. And again, does it smell? The chemicals, I don't use any chemicals hardly in my hot tub because of the salt water. I find I don't need to use a lot of chemicals. The smell is fantastic. There's hardly any chemical smell with the salt water generators. In bromine and chlorine, you'll have that smell, that stinky smell. With the salt generators, you hardly smell anything. It's like fresh water. You don't even smell the salt because it's such low parts per million on the salt. Like again, it's like 7 cups of salt in 400-gallon water of a hot tub. So you hardly taste or smell the salt. Anyways, that's about it. If you have any other questions, I'll try to answer it. Post in the comments. If you like this video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, have a great day.